I'm the one who shares tips and tricks on lifestyle, travel, parenting, and once in a while I'll do a review. Today I'm actually going to share with you something very interesting for a lot of parents who've been asking me for this. So a couple of months ago, I posted my eldest daughter's GCSE scores, and she made us as a family really proud. She got 12 distinctions. She was going to go for 13, but I think she realized she was going to push herself too much to try and do one more A-level subject during GCSE. So she thought, no, I'm not going to push myself. So she stick to 12. So I've had a lot of parents and even students message me on Twitter, on Facebook, asking me what her tips are or what I do to help her. So now, I don't want to take all the credit to myself. So I asked her, please give mommy some tips. And last Saturday, she had a party with a couple of her friends. So I asked them the same question, and it seems to be very similar. These are all girls too, who are also high achievers. So I thought, good, I'm in with good advice. So, advice number one, tip one, be consistent in your revision. She said, you cannot study one subject and then, do this topic and then, a couple of days later do something else and then do something else and jump back and forth. So she said you need to revise, for a few days so that, the memory stays. Be consistent. So, you need to do it every day. You cannot be lazy. And, the last year of your GCSE is really your most important year as a student. Well, the beginning of when things get really hectic and tough. All the years before, I consider them, easygoing learning years. So parents, don't stress your kids out until GCSE years. Tip number two, go through past year papers and try to see your scores from there and get your teachers to mark them. So I actually got for her GCSE papers even from Singapore, which is purported to be more difficult. And she actually said they were much easier for her. It was easier for her to adjust, as in it was, she would prefer to go through all the GCSE papers from the UK, where the curriculum was suited to her. She did triple maths and triple sciences, and she did physics and higher physics and all that. So she wanted it to be more difficult. But take the opportunity to go through all these old papers and then, take it like an exam. Be very serious. Go through all the questions. Give yourself the time limit as you would during your GCSE exams. And, be a teacher's pet. Get your teachers, to kind of mark it for you and go, hey, sir, miss, can you please go through my papers and tell me what my scores are like? And from there, you can kind of gauge where your knowledge is based on those results. So tip number three, do memorization and recall technique. So my daughter's always been a bit of a speed reader. She taught herself to speed read since she was 8, 9, 10 years old. So she goes through books like we drink water. She can read a 700-page book in 3 days, and I can still make her recall those things. So memorization and recall technique that can be found on YouTube. It's not very difficult, and this is one of the key techniques for people like her students like her and her friends who scored really well. Tip number 4, make a plan for what you want to achieve weekly. So basically, if you plan that, okay, I think there's a website they told me about called, what is it? My revision. I can't remember where I wrote it. Something about plan my revision, something like that. So, and it's a free website where you can tell them when your exam is. Let's say your maths paper is in May, so they can tell you, right, you got to start from February, let's say. So it will tell you what you need to study and achieve every week. And even if you don't achieve it, you can just bring forward the credit, the time that you're not finished, and bring it for the next day. So don't get too stressed out if you do not study the exact topic that you want to do that day, but do make a plan. They said plan to fail, you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So you need to plan. You need to give yourself a timeline of like this week I'm going to be doing this much in biology or geography, and then next week I'm going to be doing this much. Okay. Tip number 5, read a lot. That actually refers to my daughter. Even though she's got a lot of exam to study, she still read a lot. She loves reading Wikipedia. She used to carry an encyclopedia all over town when she was a lot younger, and then it became much more difficult science and maths books. She's always been a bit of a geek anyway. Like us, we are a bookworm family. But even as she got older, it's not don't just read your books, your study books. Do take your time to enjoy books that are, in relation to your education, because your brain needs to kind of relax and get a bit more mental stimulation than just dry maths or dry physics or just boring geography things. Watch TV, look at science program, read news, things that can kind of stimulate you. And the more you read, the more curious you get. The brain just needs a lot of stimulation. Tip number 6. Oh my god, I cannot say this enough as a mom. This is like the most important tip for me as a mother, as someone who helps people, do changes in their life. Have enough sleep. Sleep is so underrated in your brain growth, in your physical growth, in your emotional well-being. Sleep cures so many things, and today a lot of adults have too little sleep. And at 16 and 17, you may think I'm able to. I'm a superman. I can I can survive on 4 hours sleep every night. Trust me, your brain needs more sleep than you actually give it credit for. So what my daughter did was, she would come home from school. Well, it's just about 4:30. She will lie in bed and do a little bit of a quick recap. She will read a little bit of the day's subjects or the things that she's learned, and she will have a nap. Hail, storm, nothing can wake her up from her nap. She will have a nice nap, and I cannot wake her up until it's dinner time. I'll call her to come down and help me with my chores. Yes, she still has to do a lot of chores, dinner chores, so she'll help me to cook dinner and set the table and everything. And then she'll go back upstairs and finish on with her studies for the day. Now, science has proven, I think I saw this last night on BBC about the human body. It's shown that when you study something just before you go to bed and you read through, and then you go to sleep or have a nap, and you either have classical or some kind of calming music, and or you can even put audio books or things about your subject. Maybe you record yourself giving this information, like, x squared equals to y b whatever, all these information. Put it in your voice a message or your voice audio, and then put your headphones on and have a nap, and just really gentle in the background. It has been proven yesterday in this program. I think it was the twin doctors, what they called it, they had that Dutch name. Anyway, it was proven that the moment he woke up, he could actually recall a lot more than someone who did not have a nap or sleep. So that's very important. That's my most important tip. Tip number 7, stay calm. Don't panic. Please stay calm. It is a very important exam. It is like, nowadays I understand a lot of universities actually look at your GCSE scores before you and then you do your A levels. That goes on to your to your application for universities. But do stay calm. Don't panic. See, what happens is when you panic, it makes your brain go into that fight or flight mode. So all other function gets shut off. It doesn't know how to start looking at all the different areas of your brain to look for answers or whatever. It just, no, right, I'm panicking, and then you can't think anymore. So don't panic. Just, if you do, step 1, consistency, go through your memorization and your recall technique. If you've already made your plan, if you've been reading quite a lot, if you had enough sleep, enough rest, you shouldn't be panicking. Now, and as for my daughter, she told us for the last, I think since December of the year before that, right? So she did her GCSEs this year in May, June. So from January onwards, we were not allowed to go anywhere. We didn't do February half term. We didn't do Easter break, May half term, nothing. She went back to school, or she met up with friends for a study group, and she stayed home a lot to read, to study. Now, does that mean she's boring? No, hell no. She reads a lot of books. That's nothing to do with school, and she loves watching movie. We go watch movie quite a lot, or we watch movie at home. We cuddle, we play, we do go out. But she was very focused. She was very determined. She told herself, no, this is something that I teach my clients. It is actually called the law of attraction, which is visualization. You know, you tell yourself, I imagine getting so many A's or B's or whatever you're planning to get, whatever you think you're comfortable in reaching for, and just push yourself just a little bit more. Tell yourself, right, I'm planning to get 5 A's for this subject, right? Now tell yourself and lock it in. Tell your brain, I want to get this. Give yourself the opportunity to achieve that, because you know what, actually you can do a lot more than we give ourselves credit for. So she told me already, mommy, I want to get distinctions. Anything less than an A is going to disappoint me. So I said to her, I don't need her to give me amazing results. I just want her to work her butt off, give her best. That's all I want from my children, is to give the best. Now, having said all these, okay, I'm giving you all these tips. Now I'm going to say my own tip. Please study subjects that really interest you. Don't study subjects that you think, well, you know, because my mom wants me to do it, my dad wants me to do it. Be honest with yourself. And mom and dad, if you're watching this video, please give your children the opportunity to speak up and tell you what they're looking to do. You know, because the worst thing you can do is actually make them study something that they're not interested in. And no matter how much money you put in, you send them for tuition, you send them for extra classes or get tutors in or whatever, it's not going to be exciting for them. You know, the brain can only work and learn really well when it's something you're passionate about. My daughter was very lucky that, you know, she's studying everything that she's wanted. She's always been into sciences and maths, and that's what she wants to do. She's spoken about studying, you know, maybe natural sciences and going to uni to study that, or mathematics or something. But I will never make her do maths or science, because that's what, you know, granddad was a scientist, and dad is, you know, a computer and a biology science or whatever. I'm not going to make her do that, because that's what the family does. I'm going to tell her, do what you like, do what you feel you're good at, and just do your best. You know, at the end of the day, I think parents, you can agree, right? You just want your children to do the best. So that's it really. I've got, this is a tip, simple tips, and if you've got any more questions, write to me, ask me. If you've got any more tips, please share with me, and I might just make an update. And if you are having a child doing their GCSEs, make sure you nag them to have enough sleep, give them lots of cuddle, give them lots of love, and tell them that you're proud of them no matter what their results is, so long as they do their best. Right? We should always be proud of our children, and children, be proud of your parents, because they've done so much to get you to where you are today. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like, and if you like me, subscribe to me. Bye. Have a good day. We're off today for her birthday party. She turns 17 today.